let me know when we're live and ready.
Are we live? I believe we're live.
Yep, looks like we are. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. 10 a.m. in the great state of Maryland. This is the first Baltimore County delegation meeting of the 2021 session. We'll just get a little housekeeping out of the way. This shouldn't be a very long meeting. The first one's usually just for updates, run through rules, and then election of officers. So with that in mind at the moment, I will open it up for nominations for leadership positions and recognize Delegate Carl Jackson.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to nominate Pat Young for chair, Ben Brooks for vice chair, and Terry Hill for secretary.
Is there a second?
Second.
Recognizing Delegate Sheila Ruth.
I second.
Excellent. Are there any other nominations for leadership positions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and call a vote. All in favor signify with a voice vote of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay.
Mr. Bendari, I privately messaged you.
The ayes have it. Thank you, everybody, if you can. You do so. Your support of the leadership team we've had for the last 2 years. This is unprecedented. I don't want to belabor that point. We've been through all of this with other committees and other meetings and leading up to the legislative session. We, as a delegation, we follow the rules of the House, and we will be using general rules of meeting conduct. If there are any questions or concerns related to how we're conducting business, related to how the House has passed the rules related to health emergencies and how we're going to stay safe, feel free to reach out and discuss with me. We're going to be making, we'll probably be making some mistakes. This is the first time we have tried to do an all virtual delegation format. We're going to be moving as we go. And with that in mind, I don't believe that there's a wrong question, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask one. I think Baltimore County, and I believe you all feel the same way, we have a bipartisan delegation. We show, I think, as an example to the rest of the body, how we can all work together and how we can have a robust conversation with still respecting each other and being able to get things done for our constituents and for our county. So I'm going to go through the rules, and I'm pretty sure they're the same ones that Barb just sent out to everyone. Mine just has last year's date on it, but that's fine. If anything's off from what you have, just let me know, and we'll walk through it together. After I go through these delegation procedures and rules, I'll talk a little bit about the changes related to the online format. And if anybody has any questions, unmute yourself and go ahead and ask. Delegation procedures. Delegation meetings will begin promptly at the announced time. As a courtesy to our guests and other members, please make every effort to attend and be on time. The times and agenda will be announced via email, and I was going to say on the floor, but they'll be announced prior to, and when available or when we are all on the floor, we'll make an announcement when it's the appropriate time to do so. Those will be posted on the board of the delegation office, but nobody's going to be there until February, but they will be posted. Attendance will be taken at every delegation meeting, including briefings and voting sessions. That doesn't mean it'll be done by asking, but we'll have Barb taking attendance for those that participate in the Zoom call. If you're going to be absent, please let Barb McLean know in advance. If we do not hear from you, it'll be marked as an absent rather than an excused absence. 12 members constitutes a quorum where official business may be conducted. Bills require 12 votes to get out of the delegation, an absolute majority. I'm going to put a asterisk next to amendments require a simple majority or a majority of a quorum of the delegates to present at a voting session. It was brought up about concern related to a bill passing a committee, but then also getting amended in the House or in the delegation. So I'm going to come back to that with amended language at the next meeting once I work with the delegate that we were discussing about that. Voting is generally not to be held open for members that are not in attendance at the delegation meetings. Being on the Zoom call will constitute being present at the delegation meeting. It's the responsibility of members to attend the delegation meetings. We'll make every effort to schedule voting sessions to allow for the full participation of all members. If you have other conflicting issues, just let us know. It might, normally if you had another committee meeting, especially when the session got into the weeds, you'd have to step out and come back. Same thing here. If you have to step out and come back, just let Barb know, let us know so we can keep track of who's here, especially if you want to be recorded on a vote. I don't want to hold a vote for something that if we're going to have to hold votes just to keep in line with everything, but if there's something you absolutely want to be recorded on, but they have a conflict, let me know so we can accommodate you if possible. So as a general practice, members may not ask to be skipped or returned to when it comes down to voting on a bill. Please let me know if you have filed bills so we can schedule hearings in a timely manner. If you have testimony and amendments to the delegation for the delegation to consider, please make every effort to get them back to Barb by 12 p.m. on the day before the delegation meeting. The bill is going to be heard. And please provide. Don't worry about the 25 copies this year. We'll worry about that when we get back to a normal session. Barb McLean can be contacted at extension 3371, and her email address is on the rules. And at this point, everyone should know who Barb is. John Joyce, who's joined us again today, is remaining as our delegation counsel. Thank you again for joining us, sir, and can be consulted for amendments and other issues. Related to briefings, we will endeavor to schedule briefings that will be informative and relative. So I'm going to keep it light. We have a lot of folks, the usual suspects come in. We have somebody from the county executive's office, and County Executive Johnny Oshevsky comes in. We have somebody from Baltimore County Public Schools. We'll have that. I'm not going, a lot of the times we would schedule themes, or we'd have folks come in and present. We would search them out. I am not opposed to having anyone speak to the delegation on Fridays. I'm not going to go out of the way to set up themes or particular issues and find folks to come participate. If you have someone or an organization that you think it's important to come speak, or if someone reaches out to the office and requests to speak to the delegation, I'm completely open to letting them do so. But under the circumstances, and that knowing this should be a temporary format, we're not going to pack the meetings with presentations from outside sources like we have in the past and bringing folks down to Annapolis. But I'm saying that inviting all of you to make suggestions for organizations to come and speak to us if you think it's important for the body and for the county and for constituents to hear and recognize. Let's see. I have a schedule from the previous year. Committees, standing committees, same as the last 2 years. We'll be having committees that review local legislation and make recommendations to the full delegation. Again, those standing subcommittees are Alcohol Beverages Subcommittee, Community Issues Subcommittee, Education Subcommittee, Public Safety, and we still have the standing subcommittee of our bond bill initiatives or bond initiatives.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I did want to say that for the Education Subcommittee, the baton has been passed to Delegate Ebersol. So he is now officially chair.
That is correct. If the sheet says Delegate Stein is the chair of the Education Subcommittee, it should read Delegate Ebersol is the new chair of the Education Subcommittee.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am. Delegate Ruth.
Thank you. I was never assigned to a subcommittee after I was appointed last.
Goodness,
session.
that was an oversight. We'll make
Thank you.
sure to give you, well, don't worry, we'll make sure we give you some work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was done on purpose.
Making a note of that, so we'll make sure we get you. So also with the subcommittees, if anyone has been on a committee, they'd like to switch. The chairs stay the same, other than Delegate Ebersol being the chair of the Education Subcommittee, which was discussed over the interim. Let me know if you want to switch committees, and the chairs from the previous year stay the same, except for Delegate Ebersol. So there is on my sheet, it mentions about dues. I'm not sure if it's on the list that you have. So I'm going to put this out there. We don't have a reason to collect dues like we have in the past. However, I will put this out there. I am confident and hopeful that the 2022 session will be back to normal. So I'll discuss with each one of you privately if we do a revised or maybe even a reduced request for dues this year. It would help benefit possibly either a welcome back or a send us all off after the 22 session that we can use. And even in the past, we've invited back previous chairs and thank them for their service to the delegation. So I'll talk to you all individually. Right now, at the moment, we're not going to be asking for $35 in dues, which used to pay for the juice and snacks that we would have at the meetings. But we may ask for something else, preparing for the next session so that we have some more funds in the coffers to do some more collegial things with the delegation and the membership. So that goes for the regular rules. The changes related to how we're going to be conducting delegation meetings, and I know that's other folks that are in other delegations have probably already gone through this. I just want to make clear this right here, the Zoom call is the primary delegation meeting. This is where the members will participate. This is where we'll have staff and where if you have a bill, you'll be presenting. If you have speakers, they will be let onto the Zoom call to participate and to advocate for the bill. The public piece where everyone can access the meeting will be on YouTube so that everyone can watch it. The YouTube link is not available until we go live. We will always have our delegation staff. Barb McLean is back. Welcome. And as backup for Barb, we'll have my staff member, Cole Bayshaw. So if you see their names on here, like I said before, we're going to be making mistakes. We're going to be we're going to be moving as we go. I made a decision not to allow staff into this particular call, and mainly because they can participate and watch and take all the information they need from the YouTube video that's going on. So I'm going to encourage at the moment that staff participate in the delegation meetings by watching the YouTube video. If anyone would like to discuss that after the fact, I'm open to discussion. But at the moment, just to keep it manageable with who's in the Zoom meeting, the elected members and the staff members are here in the Zoom call. Also, there are folks that in a normal period, in a normal time, we would have in the audience that we would then rely on for information, which includes Chuck Connor from the County Executive Staff, and a representative from Baltimore County Public Schools, and every now and then a member from either the state Senate, one of our senators, either Senator Ben Cardin or Senator Chris Van Hollen. Sometimes his staff would be there, as well as some members from the congressional delegation. If upon request, if they would like a staff member to come, if they have information to provide for the delegation, I'll be open to letting them attend. I've given an open invitation to BCPS and to the County Executive's Office to have a staff member here for the purpose of providing answers or information just as if we were meeting in person, so that we can, so that they're right there and they're not watching on YouTube, so they can answer a question if somebody has it. So it's not special treatment based on a position. It's based on the fact that this delegation has benefited from their information and their role in BCPS and the County Executive's Office. So they will be also in the Zoom call. Outside of that, I wanted folks to, I changed my name on here, and it was brought up by Delegate Impalaria, which is true. If you have your name on here, folks can see that they have your name. They could assume that you're a delegate, but I would encourage folks to, at least in the delegation meetings, it isn't too hard to, I'm pretty sure for you all, you can change your names, what it says on your name. So I would encourage my leadership team when we're in the delegation meetings to put vice chair and secretary. If you don't, make sure it says delegate before your name or the abbreviation, so that folks know that you are a delegate on the call. The public's going to be watching this and they'll see the name, but they may not know exactly who everyone is. So
Yeah, Pat.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Delegate Larry.
So where you push in the upper right-hand corner, for most it should work. You push in the upper right-hand corner, and then you'll see three dots, and it'll open up and it'll say profile, and you can change your name in the profile section. For those who can't figure that out, I'm sure the staff will be able to do it. But if you want to try to do it yourself, push the right-hand corner, you'll see 3 dots, push the 3 dots, and then go in and change it. Like, for instance, I don't think the speaker's here because there's some woman sitting there called Adrian Jones, and it probably should say Speaker Jones because that's her title and she deserves that. So people watching publicly, not for us personally, but publicly, they should know who they're dealing with. And like John should say council next to his name. That's the council. So just a little bit of protocol, and just want to bring that to your attention. So thank you.
Agreed. And I appreciate that too, because we, it's folks from at home will be watching this or be able to pull it up, and in the future being able to see who everyone is in designated positions. So encourage you to do that. It's easy enough to change it from meeting to meeting, so that way I won't be the chairman during my delegation or my committee meeting. So unless somebody recognizes that I've changed my name to chairman, as if I'm trying to take over, which I'm not. So dress code, same as everywhere else, and same as if we were in person. So that doesn't change. Professionalism, as if we were down in Annapolis and folks were in the crowd and participating. I'm outside of that. That is the end of my notes. Yep, that's the end of my notes. I open up for questions from anybody or concerns related to the current format or just moving forward.
Mr. Chairman, it's John Carden. I have a quick question.
Delegate Carden, go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, I just wanted to say thanks to Delegate Inflaria for mentioning names. I am on here, but hands-free right now. I cannot change my name, so I apologize for that. But I will be in a place where I can actually change it, hopefully sometime soon. I wanted to ask quickly, do the rules, the Zoom rules for committees apply to delegation as well? Because a lot of times there's different rules in terms of, for example, like I don't have my screen on because I'm hands-free right now. Do we need to have our screens on like we do need to in committee?
So each individual committee can sort of do it their own way. The good thing about Baltimore County's delegation being a majority rule, and that we have basic procedures that we agree on, but we don't have bylaws. We can choose as we go. I'm okay with delegation meetings. If you're available and you're here and you can use your camera and you're in your office, you should absolutely use it. Delegate Carden, I know that you've had in the past work related to your full-time job. So it don't want to apply here, in my opinion. If you're able to, you should. If you've got some other work responsibility, that's fine. And if you feel that you need to, let me know so I can also make an announcement about it, so that folks know why you may not be able to be seen. I'm fine with that. So the short answer is I'm okay. No, and we'll change things as we go. So.
We'll make every effort. By the end of this meeting, hopefully I'll be back not in a remote location. Thanks.
Oh, good. Delegate Stein, did you have a question?
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. For subcommittee meetings, would a separate Zoom link be provided by Barb, or how would the chairs, respective chairs, set those up? I would say Barb would do it, and I also have an account as well, so we can set it up either through Barb or through me, but I imagine Barb will be fine with setting up for the subcommittees when they go to meet. Delegate Feldmark?
Thank you. And will subcommittees be streamed as well?
They haven't in the past, and in discussions with leadership about subcommittees, we didn't really go that far into it. So at the moment, I'm going to say no, but I'll discuss it with the chairs, and I'll double check with leadership too to make sure that they don't have to be.
Okay.
So. Thank you. I just wanted to get clarification on that. Thanks. Yeah. And I don't think, housekeeping thing as well. I don't think it necessarily needs to be said, but if you are trying to get attention, I have my full screen up now, but I don't have everybody in the box, obviously. I do have the chat box, or I have the participants box up. If you're trying to get my attention, raise your hand, and also help me out by unmuting and letting me know if I've missed somebody who's trying to get my attention. But again, we're not going to talk over each other. Wait to be recognized as normal, and we'll go as long as we have to, within reason and within the schedule that we have, to let everyone voice their opinion, be heard and be recognized while we're in delegation. Further questions? I don't see any, which is just fine. All, okay. Honestly, that is all I have. I appreciate your time and flexibility on this. As we're going through the session, if things come up, feel free to send me a message. I have my phone on me while these are going on. If you're trying to get my attention as well, feel free to text, so we can communicate any one of those ways. It's going to be a very interesting session, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting the work done for Baltimore County and helping you all with your initiatives too. So with that, move to
I make a
adjourn.
motion to end the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Ed, Delegate Forbes, you have a question?
Sorry. Did Tony Bazemore, was he waiting to come in and we kept him outside? And a couple.
So mentioned to the folks that I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
when I told them this week that was going to be the format, I mentioned that the first meeting for housekeeping was just going to be the elected members.
Right.
So we were only letting in elected members today.
Okay. But I thought they were.
You got muted.
I thought they were waiting to come in when we were done with this business.
Gotcha. Nope, nothing else on the agenda other than housekeeping today. But, all right. Thank you all.
You got a motion to dismiss. You want to do it?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Barb, you can go ahead and end the meeting for all.